Hello children, welcome again to the virtual session. So let us see what are we going to do in this session. We are going to do one more journal writing work, that is one more experiment we are going to write in the journal. So the instructions for the journal will remain the same. Let me repeat instructions. Book with hardcover, you will have pages blank on one side and rule on the other. You have to draw 2 cm margin on the right hand side of every ruled page. Diagrams to be drawn on blank side of the page. Diagrams labeling to be done with black ball point pen. Activity writing part on the rule side of the page. A very neat and tidy journal is expected. So today let us see, we are going to write in the journal effect of yeast on dough. So yeast is a unicellular organism and we need to see the effect on dough, how it is helpful to us. We have learned in a chapter microorganism. So let us see the effect. First of all, you are going to write aim to study the effect of yeast on dough. Requirements: flour, you will have atta or maida you can use. So wheat flour, or you can use any other kind of atta. So because you just need to see the rising of the dough. Then water, sugar, yeast granules. Yeast granules available in the market. So when we will do it in the lab, we will get it all this and we will try. Cup, plate, wet cloth. So let us see procedure. Put warm water in a cup so that it is 1/3 full. Next step, add 2-3 teaspoons of sugar to the warm water and mix well. So you have to add 2-3 teaspoons of sugar to the warm water and mix well. Now add half teaspoon yeast granules to the warm water and leave for 10 minutes. That means you are keeping adding half a teaspoon of yeast granule, which you will get it from, we will provide you when we will do in the lab. So granules will be added to the warm water and leave it for 10 minutes. Take half kg flour in a plate. So then after that, add the sugar, yeast, water mixture to the flour and knead it to form dough. Cover the dough with a wet cloth and keep it in a warm place for 2 to 3 hours. Then see what next happened. Observation. The dough has risen and its volume increases. Bubbles are seen inside the dough. So bubbles are seen inside the dough because of the chemical process happening. Carbon dioxide gas will be released. So while leaving the dough, carbon dioxide will form bubbles and it will leave the dough. So that bubbles is actually carbon dioxide gas leaving the dough. And it will actually leave some pores behind before leaving. So that because of that, idlis, cake, many other food item where we need to ferment and with the help of yeast, there you will see formation of some pores because of the fermentation process, and you have to control it. You cannot over ferment because the over fermentation can, that kind of food can give you indigestion and might not be fit for consumption. So carbon dioxide gas over here is a will be released, that is the bubbles will be seen inside the dough, and when it leaves the dough, when you're cooking, idlis, dosa and bread, cake, pudding and all, you will see they become fluffy and the volume increases just because fermentation process, and it has to be controlled and carbon dioxide gas is released over there. So theory over here, the yeast uses sugar for food. Why we added sugar? Because the yeast has to use up sugar, that is glucose, as food. In the process of breaking down sugar, alcohol is formed and carbon dioxide is given off. So here you can see this chemical reaction happen because yeast need to eat food that we are providing as a sugar, that is glucose, and in the process of breaking down sugar has to be broken down because it's a complex substance. So it will further break down into alcohol and carbon dioxide gas is formed. This process is called as fermentation. The bubbles of carbon dioxide cause the dough to rise. So this you have to write in your journal, final result and the conclusion. You can say here, when dough is kneaded with yeast, it causes the dough to rise as a result of carbon dioxide given off. So all this will go in your journal, children. Um, one more session we can have for this journal writing work. Since you need sufficient time to complete your journal work, one more session we will have for journal writing. Let us see a video after this on the internal structure of the yeast. So you will come to know the structure of the yeast is a unicellular organism and what all it has, all cell organelles and all you will see in the video after this. And this is the diagram you are going to draw in your left hand side of the journal, that is a blank side. So level of the dough in the beginning you see, and over here level of the dough after a few hours. So it is going to rise because of the fermentation process, because we added yeast and sugar. So here we end with the session, children. You kindly go through the video after this. You will see the unicellular organism yeast in that video. Thank you, children. Have a great day.
This video is just going over yeast and it's geared towards the Irish Leaving Cert. Yeast belongs to the fungi kingdom, therefore it's a fungus, it's eukaryotic, and yeast is unicellular, made of one cell. So the first thing you have to cover is the basic structure of yeast and be able to draw a very simple diagram of a yeast cell. So we know that it's a fungus, so it's eukaryotic, so it does have a membrane-bound nucleus, so a true nucleus, and we know that it would have those membrane-bound organelles, but we're not going to draw them in on our diagram. But what makes a yeast part of the fungus family is the fact that it has that cell wall made of chitin, so make sure you draw that in first. So inside this we have the cell membrane and then the dense grainy cytoplasm that you associate with yeast cells. Yeast cells have these large vacuoles and these smaller structures for food storage, sometimes called food granules or storage granules and sometimes food vacuoles. So to help you in your exams, I would highly recommend you look at some photographs, real photographs of what yeast cells look like under a microscope, because you never know, you might be presented with one of those on your paper. But be able to recognise dense grainy cytoplasm, the cell wall, the large vacuole, the cell membrane and those food granules or food vacuoles. So next we have to discuss reproduction in yeast. They reproduce asexually, so there is one parent involved and no gametes. And this is known as budding, so make sure you know that asexual reproduction in yeast is called budding. So the first thing that happens in budding is this extension or this swelling known as a bud starts to form on the yeast cell, and then the nucleus of the yeast cell undergoes mitosis. At the end of mitosis, a daughter nucleus moves into the bud, and this will either nip off into its own separate yeast cell, as is shown in this diagram. And remember, these are two separate yeast cells, but they're genetically identical because they were formed by mitosis. So sometimes though the cytoplasm doesn't separate and you get this structure known as a colony, and a colony forms when the bud, its nucleus, undergoes mitosis and the process of budding continues. So that was yeast. Make sure you can draw and label a diagram of a yeast cell and recognise photographs, really important, and make sure you can give an account of budding using diagrams, so check that out in your book.